A huge change to gameplay is coming to Brawl Stars with the addition of Hypercharge, but there are changes as well that are going to hurt free-to-play players. Now, we're going to cover all of that, plus the brand new Brawlers Pearl and Chuck, aka Mortis in a Train, as well as all the other stuff coming into the newest season of Brawl Stars, the return to Ranger Ranch. Hypercharge is the first big gameplay change to Brawl Stars in 3 years, back when they introduced gadgets. This is how Hypercharge is going to work. It builds up just like a super would, but it takes longer to fully charge. Once it is charged, you just press the new Hypercharge button and you enter that state of hyperchargedness. In this state, your stats will be buffed and you'll get a new ability. Now, it seems that the Hypercharge state will last about 7 seconds or so, but that's only if you don't deal any damage while it's active. If so, it'll actually add a little bit to the Hypercharge state, but it's moving down so fast you can't fully charge it up again, or at least I don't think that you would be able to. We did, however, get to see a few of the Brawler's Hypercharge abilities in the Brawl Talk. For instance, Shelly's super is going to be 33% wider. Jackie's super will also slow enemies down for 1.5 seconds. And we can see here that Colt's super is at least twice as wide as normal. And Spike's super is 20% larger as well. This is in addition to the extra stats that you get for speed, damage, and shield, which varies between brawlers. Now, we didn't see a description of Bull or Pearl's Hypercharge, but all of the other Hypercharge modified the supers of those brawlers, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it would probably affect their super as well. But I will be bringing you all the details on every Hypercharge as well as everything else in the update, so subscribe if you want all that information the second that Brawl Stars lets me release it. Now, as for the cost of the Hypercharge, yeah, it's expensive. Upon release for the first 2 weeks, you're going to have the option of buying a collector's pack for either 9,600 gold or 299 gems. This collector's pack does include the Hypercharge, a spray, a pin, and an animated profile icon, which is something new to Brawl Stars. You will, however, get Shelly's Hypercharge for free by completing a challenge, but subsequent ones, well, they're going to cost you. Now, if you decide to wait a couple weeks to get them, you can purchase them from the Brawler screen for 5,000 coins, but that's just the Hypercharge itself, not all the extra goodies. On the bright side, after those 2 weeks, you're going to get a chance to get them free from star drops as well, especially since we're going to be getting some free legendary star drops in the shop, as well as some other special events where you can get 2 times the normal star drops every single day. So that's Hypercharge, but let's look at the brand new brawlers that are coming. The first of which will be the chromatic brawler for the season, and her name is Pearl. Now, Pearl is the final brawler in the Gold Arm gang, joining Sam and Belle. She's an oven that fires cookies, and at max level, she will have 8,400 hit points, which makes her decently tanky. Her main shot is similar to Pam's with how the projectiles are distributed, but there is a new mechanic involved with it. She has a heat bar that slowly builds up, and when it reaches maximum heat, her shots will deal more damage. Now, the lowest amount of damage that she deals, from what I saw, is 520 damage for one single cookie. And from the looks of it, it can go up to almost 900 damage per cookie at maximum heat. If you were to land all 5 cookies at maximum heat, whew, that's a lot of damage. And speaking of damage, her super is incredibly strong. I mean, not only does this super break walls, but it also deals a ton of damage that is once again scaled by how much heat she has. The more heat, the more damage. But I'll be able to tell you more once I can release my Pearl 1v1 versus every brawler video. But Pearl is not the only new brawler that's coming, because we also have Mortis in a Train. I mean, okay, his name's Chuck, but I mean, come on, it's Mortis in a Train. Now, Chuck is a mythic brawler that will probably be released like halfway through the update, much like Doug was in this last update. And also, just like Doug, Chuck is a mythic brawler who belongs to the Ghost Train trio, joining Gus. Now, at max level, Chuck has 9,000 hit points. That sounds like a lot, but remember, all of these big hit points, they seem like a lot, but there are some changes to level scaling that makes it seem more than it really is. And I'll cover those changes in a second, but 9,000 hit points is still a good amount, and definitely higher than average. Now, for his main attack, he fires out a long line of hot steam. This attack will pierce enemies, and the closer you are, the more damage it deals. From the video, the highest damage I saw Chuck deal was 1,080, and the lowest I saw was 660. And each shot can deal damage 3 times per shot, which 1,080 times 3 is It's maths. It's Now his super is where it gets really interesting, because when Chuck uses his super, he can throw down like a sign or a post. If this post hits somebody, it knocks them back and deals 800 damage, but this design isn't really just about damage, because Chuck can then use his subsequent supers to either put down another post connecting with the previous one, or he can use his super to dash to the post that he put down. If more than one post is down and connected, he will continue to zip between these connected posts until he reaches the end. Now from the video, it looks like there can be a total of 3 posts, which if all connected would span pretty much the width of a 3v3 map. Also, if anybody is in your path when you're using your super, you will deal 3,500 damage to them. I mean, makes sense because it would probably hurt to get hit by a train. Now we'll find out how good Chuck is going to be in my 1v1 video, but personally right off the bat, I think that he looks very fun and rather strong. Now I've talked about some really cool things that are coming to the game, but there is one change that I'm honestly really apprehensive about. Currently in the game, when you level up a brawler, for each level you gain 5% increase in your base stats. Well, in the new update, that's going to be changed to 10% per level. Along with that, the sequence in which you unlock gadgets, gears, star powers, and hypercharge is also changing. I think that that's really nice, and it's going to give you more of a reason to level up. However, the power scaling. Yeah, so my initial reaction to this was, why do they need to do that? I think that this is going to make it much harder to compete if all of your brawlers aren't leveled up. I mean, for example, currently if you're a level 7 and you're facing a level 11 brawler, you're at a 20% disadvantage in pure stats, like hit points and damage. In the next update, that power difference is going to be 40%. That is a huge difference. That's like a power 2 versus a power 10 in the game right now. That's why you're seeing brawlers with a lot of hit points and damage in the Brawl Talk. This doesn't actually change the interaction between two brawlers of the same level, but it will make maxed out players have a much bigger advantage. And personally, I'm not a fan of it. I've got a lot of thoughts on this topic, but I'll save most of those for an update review video that I'm going to be doing soon after I test these things out, because I don't know, maybe I'm off base here. Also, speaking of things that I don't like, Hot Zone, Heist, and Bounty have all been removed from the rotation. Now they're still going to be available in friendly rooms, but not for trophies anymore. Now the reason for this is matchmaking. The team felt like with so many different game modes, it was distributing all the players across a very wide pool, and by reducing it to just 4, it'll focus those players down into just a few modes, which should result in faster and more accurate matchmaking. I don't know, I just wish there was another way, because while those modes are not my favorite modes, they are for a lot of players, and now, other than occasionally showing up as a special mode, they're just like banished to friendly rooms, and that's it. On the bright side, I mean, hey, we're getting Siege back, so yeah. But hey, you like skins though, right? You know the kind of skin I like. No, just no. Now I will be showing you all of the skins in detail soon, but for now, let's have a quick look at some of the skins we're going to be getting. For the new Brawler Pearl, we're getting 2 skins. The Tier 70 Brawl Pass skin, which is Periscope Pearl, which shoots fish instead of cookies because, well, she's a fishbowl. And then the 29 gem skin is called Vintage Pearl. We also are getting a new series of skins called the Wasteland skins. For Willow, she is getting a Scorpion Willow skin that will be available when the update drops, that you can buy for bling. Now for the Power League skin, we get the very Mad Max-like Marauder Maisie. Cordelius is also getting a new one called Raider Cordelius. And then Hank is getting a brand new skin called Rodeo Hank, which I'll be giving away some of these skins in my next video, so be sure to come back for that. The next skins will be the Brawl Academy skins. Squeak's gonna be getting one of these skins, and the best part about it, or the most cursed, is that he's got braces now. It's Nerd Squeak. And Rosa is the newest cheerleader on the squad, boasting pom-poms and a new outfit, while one of the worst skins in the game, College M's, is going to be remodeled to Mean Girl M's. And finally, we have Jock Stew, which will be a legendary skin costing 299 gems that gets all the extra stuff with it, including a new effect that will take place when Stu deals the final blow on an enemy. But Stu isn't the only one getting a 299 gem skin, because we are getting a brand new mecha skin, and this time, it's for Edgar. You're going to get the skin as well as pins, profile picture and a spray, and also the skin has that new cool killing blow effect. The other new brawler, Chuck, will get a 29 gem skin called Inferno Chuck. And the last new skins are the Lunar New Year skins with Lunar Janet and Handbok Mandy. Now the last thing that we need to cover is that Frank came on and gave us a roadmap for some of the things to come. The first new thing that the team is going to be addressing is Club League. They want to find a way to make it less grindy as well as more rewarding and more accessible to all of the players. Now they're targeting on getting this done within the next couple updates. After that, they're going to shift their attention to Power League. Much like Club League, this is an underplayed mode that mainly only the really hardcore players tend to enjoy.
Badger! Badger!
They want to improve the rewards and make it more accessible to all players. Now they're also still working on a way to make it easier to find people to play with and get more out of the game. Currently, that's kind of tough to do, and the only way that people have been doing it is either in a club or using the Find the Team feature, which, let's be real, nobody uses. Now, one of the more interesting things here is that they're going to be taking a look at the Brawl Pass to see if the cadence of every other month is the right way to do that, as well as looking at the chromatic brawlers and deciding even if they need a chromatic rarity at all. So it looks like they have some big changes coming up that are aimed at the core functions of the game. Now that all sounds really cool, but on the downside, on their roadmap, there are some things that I've really been wanting them to work on, like a map maker overhaul, as well as redoing the PvE game modes that they talked about last roadmap. Both of these things they want to address, but they don't really have any time frame, and it's just kind of like, yeah, maybe someday. So we're gonna have to wait on that, but they are looking at adding a bunch of new game modes with some really neat ideas that they've been working on, so I am excited for what that could bring. Just like I'm excited to bring you the next sneak peek. Come back tomorrow and find out what it's about.